It's January 11th, Tuesday morning, getting the morning started here in Hawaii with the stock market opening at 4:30 a.m. I'm excited. I'm ready. Let's get into it, baby. Are there going to be some hot movers today? We're going to find out. Let's go. All right, so this morning we're getting started here. We got TSRI on top of the scanner list this morning. It gapped up this morning. It was up 60, 70%. You can see on the scanner, TSRI on top of the scanner this morning. So watching that $13 level, it's up 47%. TSRI only has 1 million shares in the float. Going to the 1 minute time frame here. Looking at different time frames. The daily chart looks pretty good in terms of resistance. But if you look here at the daily chart, TSRI has kind of done this move before. So I'm going to wait here on the 1 minute chart. If we can push above 1347, that'll be my buy entry. It's 4:30 in the morning here in Hawaii, and it's not always easy to wake up and get too excited about trading stocks when you're just waking up in the morning. But we're doing it for the YouTube. So battling that 1280 area right here. Can she hold? Looking for a break over this resistance, 1324. If you look on the 5 minute chart, this wick really isn't here. I don't know exactly what that was all about, but see if we can get above 13 here. Having trouble now at $13. Whole dollars. Those whole dollars always act as resistance. It's just like a mental thing. People get weird about whole dollars. I'm the same way. I wouldn't want to be buying at $12.99. I'd want to be buying over 13. You can see 13 kind of being the high there, and there's a reason for that mental, emotional idea behind it, human aspect of not wanting to buy at $12.99, as weird as that sounds. But I've seen it for years now, that whole dollar area always acting as either resistance or support based on where we're at in terms of the price action. Now we're pushing up here. I'm gonna give it, got a little denied there. I think we're going to jump in here. Here we go, 13.10. Look for a push up to the $14 area from here. If we push over 13.20, I'll buy some more. We can see we got stuck at 13.24 there. Do I want to buy more here? Let's think, Patrick. Let's just give it some time. Maybe a little bit of a pullback here. Oh, King denied right there. Look at that. Wowzers. We need to pop back up here. We're going to get out for a big loss. Getting denied so hard right now. And that hurts. Look at that. We got denied. And what was the issue? Really just not being able to break through that resistance strong enough. I jumped in too early there. Looking at the scanner this morning, we got a ACCD moving around here. You can see right now ACCD up to 2460, push it up there, 2460. ACCD has 54 million shares in the float, so it's a little bit larger of a float than Hey, if you enjoy these videos, do me one big favor. It really does help me so much if you go ahead and hit that like button. Also, leave a comment down below. What do you think about the videos? What is the hottest stock today? What stock did you trade? I'm interested to find out. Also, if you want to learn more about the broker and learn more about the scanner that I use, check out the links down below. Let's get back into the action. Kind of a tricky one for sure. I think you got to stop trying for these 1 minute breakouts, especially if the stock. I think if a stock is very, very bullish and it's really just going to the moon and it's got tons of, every time it dips down, it just keeps breaking out to the upside. I think, on the 1 minute chart, you can look for entries. But when a stock is kind of stagnant and not really wanting to make a move higher, or let's just say, it's kind of trending lower, if it's doing that, then the 1 minute chart, I just think you just cannot get too excited. But the issue really is, we had these highs at 1224 here. This candle right here hit 13. Well, this was 1324. We had a high at 1324 on this candle. The next candle pushed to 1330. So a total just fake out there basically at that point. So, I guess, you can sit here all day long making the excuses, but it's kind of just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you get these good breakouts and it just goes to the moon, and then other times you get this fake out and you just get crushed. And we got You know, we got crushed on that fake out there. Total just wash of a fake out. And that's a little bit painful there, actually. The SPY once again today selling off here down to the 462 area, opening up there at the 465, now down to the 462, looking to see if the SPY can hold this 462 area and push back up into this 470s the next few days. We'll see what happens. They got a lot of news coming out this week with the Fed and everything, so expecting the Fed to kind of come in and say, hey, everything's okay. Don't worry. Don't be afraid. So now it's 10 a.m. We've had TSRI moving around, but really looking here at the scanner, not much happening right now. We got a couple stocks moving around, but nothing looking too hot. So I think, you know, like I said, with so many times I've said this, you know, you really just got to sit on your hands some days and just wait for the opportunities to come to you. Today, I think, is one of those days where just not getting any action. We're not getting the action that we're looking for. We're not getting the action that we need. So no point in sitting here and wasting. Look at, oh my gosh, TSRI. Look at this thing. TSRI, remember we shorted up here at the 1250 area, and now it's down there to 1175. So could have definitely kept that short going here. If you look at the 5-minute chart, that pop back up here to the 1275 worked out beautifully, and then now down there to 1175 there on TSRI this morning. So had a big pop up there to that 1440 area pre-market. You know, it's hard to say exactly why it didn't go higher. Looking at the daily chart, you know, what do we miss? I guess, you know, we're running into some resistance here at this level, you could say, if you wanted to put trend lines on it, or if you wanted to put a resistance, you know, we've got some resistance in this area. So I don't know. I always try to like look at it like, what could I have seen differently? You know, what could have been a better outcome for this trade? And I guess, you know, really at the end of the day, it was all, I mean, in hindsight, obviously we can see that it was a clear short opportunity at that point. You know, when it broke to the upside here this morning, like when we got that fake breakout there, right, on this move, we got that big fake breakout. We pushed up, we almost broke through, and then we break through, and then we just get slammed back down. And almost got $1 drop there. So not good for business. Not good for business there. So I think, you know, in hindsight, it's just kind of how it goes sometimes, right? You get those moves, and that's just the way it is. I think really at the end of the day, you've got to focus on the 5-minute chart. You got to focus on the bigger time frames to really get your good entries. Because if you see on the 5-minute chart, like I said, this candle here, this red wick on this candle, it wasn't there. It's not actually there. But in the 5-minute chart, you can clearly see that this thing was just heading lower and lower and lower. So there was no real reason to jump in here, you know, for a breakout there. So I think that's pretty much, you know, the way to look at it. If you look at this breakout here over this 1195 from earlier, we get a 5-minute candle, you get a big push up, and then you can see how the trend is changing. Again, you know, you're getting this move up. But the problem is, let's look, if you look at here, let's look at, this is the 920 candle. If we go and we look at the 920 candle. So the 920 candle was good. It popped up there and broke above that high there. So like I said earlier, I think, you know, with the 1-minute chart, it really comes down to being able to see the smaller movements, but really kind of looking at the bigger picture on the 5-minute chart to kind of establish where you want to be buying, where you want to be selling. So, you know, on the 5-minute chart, we had that pullback there that we saw on the 1-minute chart there at 920, and then we broke above that 1239. So we broke above 1239, and then we ran up there to 1274. That next candle goes all the way to 1357. You can see over here kind of the same setup. We broke above kind of the first 5-minute candle, make a new high over this 1198, and it squeezes all the way up here. So you can see it also, you know, there's some tricky ones too, because like here, 1266, it kind of, you know, had trouble there. You can sit here all day long and think about, you know, in hindsight, what you could do differently. But on that note, what we learned today is, again, we got to focus on the bigger time frames, focus on the big picture, also focus on, you know, what's the trend doing, what's really going on with the stock, especially I think with TSRI getting denied multiple times there pre-market. That's kind of also like a red flag I should have been looking at. But hey, you know, we all make mistakes. luckily we're trading in the simulator still. We're getting the, we're working out the bugs, working out the kinks here, and, getting things all kind of just figured out and kind of moving forward into the future. So if you guys haven't already, do me one big favor, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, all the buttons down below. I will talk to you guys later on.